The purpose of this KTV segment is to present information on proposed regulations and proposed amendments to certain laws, as well as to inform the community on upcoming community engagement in relation to those proposed regulations. I think it's really important to note that all of this work that's being done with Justice Services and within the Justice portfolio is being done to protect the jurisdiction of justice and to protect our system. So currently we're working on three main pieces to this. The first one is regulations respecting the selection and appointment of judges to the Court of Kahnawà. Currently there are two regulations that were enacted as part of the Justice Act that pertain to that. However, they are very, very brief. They were really just placeholders. They were meant to be elaborated upon at a further date. So that's the work that we're doing now. This is work that is needed to establish rules for a fair and independent and transparent selection and appointment process of the judges. And as I mentioned earlier, to really ensure that we protect our jurisdiction over justice matters in our community.
The reality of the situation is that the Court of Kahnawà is simply at risk. We only have one Justice of the Peace left, and there's no possibility of federal renewals. So it's time to really take matters into our own hands and put in place our own Kahnawake judges pursuant to the Kahnawake Justice Act. We knew this time would come eventually where we'd have to put in our own judges through our own process. And the appointment of these judges, we're calling it a unilateral appointment through the Kahnawake Justice Act, meaning it's a real homegrown judicial office without any sort of arrangements or agreements or anything else with external authorities.
Like with all regulations, they will be posted eventually for 30-day feedback. There will be a focus group also being held. The various dates will be sent out in the press releases that you would normally see, announcing these kiosks and information sessions. The second piece of work that we're doing is a piece on consequential amendments. There will be 28 Kahnawake laws that are currently in force that have to be amended in order to align with the Justice Act. There will be no substantive changes to those laws. It is really just to add in the administrative tribunal as a reference for an appeal process. Right now we have communal arbitration. That will be replaced in some of the pieces of legislation with the administrative tribunal. We also will be making new references to the Court of Kahnawà as the having jurisdiction over all matters. So we want to make sure that each law states that. And then the additional changes, consequential amendments to those laws will be really just in terms of terminology to align it with the Justice Act.
It became necessary to ensure that all Kahnawake laws kind of fit with the Justice Act and that there are consistent references and consistent usage of forms like the administrative tribunal. So this is the work that we're doing now. It's essentially to ensure cohesion between existing Kahnawake laws and the Justice Act, that they fit together, that wording that might refer to the Court of Kahnawake or the tribunal is consistent, and that our body of Kahnawake laws, work as a consistent whole. Another project that we've been working on is putting in place disciplinary measures process for the administrative tribunal. Last year, Council enacted by Mohawk Council Executive Directive 3 regulations for the establishment and operations of this tribunal, and now we're looking at the disciplinary measures process. These are complaints that would be submitted against decision makers. Now, we had a draft that we released to the community a while back for 30-day review, but after a focus group and further review, we think we need to fine-tune it a little bit more to make it a little bit more user-friendly for people who might need to make a complaint. So we've made some revisions to that regulation, and we'll be putting it back out for a second 30-day review in the very near future.
If anybody has any questions or is interested in participating in a focus group or providing feedback once the regulations are posted, you can contact Justice Services, and they'll provide you with all of those further details.